I'm only going to do the one hand. I don't think it's necessary for me to do both of them. Well, what do you think? Pretty good, huh?
I really don't know.
Well, Doctor, how about that microscope?
It's in my office. I'll go get it.
No. I mean, leave it there. I'll go into the office and do it.
I want to go with you, Kirk.
No. No, Emily. This may take me some time. And to be honest with you, I'm not all that sure that I can do it the right way.
Well, seems to me we ought to have an expert to handle this.
I think I ought to try to do it myself, Doctor. I really do.
Daddy, I'm scared. I'm so scared.
There isn't anything to be afraid of.
Yes, there is. I mean, just in case there's some mistake.
But you're so very sure that there isn't, aren't you, Emily? That he really is Kirk Michaels.
Oh, I know he's Kirk. It's just that, well, maybe there's some mistake over the prints. Maybe they sent the wrong cards. You know how it is with those big bureaucratic operations fouling things up. You always saying that.
Emily, if those prints don't match, it won't be because of a bureaucratic mistake. The mistake will be ours.
You really believe that's possible, don't you? You really believe that that man in there might not be my husband?
I'm not wishing for bad news, Emily. All I want is for things to work out the way you want them to.
You say that you're not wishing for bad news, but I guess that depends upon what you consider as good news or bad.
Whatever makes you happy is good news to me.
Do you really mean that, Daddy?
Of course I do. Emily, don't you know what it's meant to me to see the change in you these past few weeks? To see you out of your room, down here, playing the piano and wearing dresses you haven't touched in months, smiling and even laughing, which I haven't heard in years.
It's all because Kirk came back that I feel alive again. You probably thought that I'd gotten over the pain, that all my wounds had healed.
No, I never believed that. Wounds don't heal just because you can't see the bandage or scars. I just thought it didn't hurt so much.
Yeah, you're right enough there. I was too numb to feel pain. That's how I lived my life, as though I were Novocaine from head to foot. Nothing really mattered to me. Except you, of course. I cared about you.
But you didn't care enough about yourself. And that's a terrible thing, Emily. You just climbed into a shell and lived off your own memories, and skimpy ones at that. And what bothers me most the past few weeks is what would happen if there wasn't any Kirk.
No, Daddy, please don't.
Well, I mean, if he wasn't here and I wasn't either.
You?
Well, I've told you about this heart of mine. Right now, it's just going along on memory and willpower.
No, Daddy, please don't say anything else. Everything is going to be all right. Everything.
This room wasn't always this cold and dark. Oh, yes, I know. I remember it always being very bright, sunny, full, lots of sunshine. Yes, I do. Maybe it's just that I remember it that way, huh? Because your daddy was here? Yes. And every day with your daddy was wonderful and sunny and bright. Yes, I know. This room is different. This room is different and this whole house is different. Oh, we'll pull ourselves together. We got company. We got company. Who's that? Who's come to visit us? Who is it? Oh, it's Auntie Nicole. Look.
Oh, hello.
It's Auntie Nicole. Say hello.
Hi, Julia.
Say hi.
Come here, may I hold her?
Oh, sure. Go ahead. I'll get the door.
Are you dear, sweet?
Oh, sit down.
What a good girl.
We were just taking a little tour of the place.
Oh. What's your opinion, honey? What do you think?
I think she's still thinking about it.
What do you think? Are you still thinking about it?
How was the traffic coming out?
Oh, it was okay.
Yeah.
I had no trouble getting out here, but there's a lot of traffic coming the other direction, but that's okay. I'm not going to be leaving until rush hour, so...
Well, listen, come to think of it, I think it's about time that this little lady has her nap. I hate to break up this wonderful rapport. But, huh? You see, I'll see you later, Auntie Nicole.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Listen, when I come down, I'll fix us something to eat.
Oh, no. Do not worry about feeding me. I managed to have breakfast with Miles before I left the house today.
I hope she falls asleep this easily every day. Did you say you didn't want anything to eat? Why don't I fix you a muffin or some toast or something?
Really. No. Want to sit down and just talk? Why don't you tell me about your first night at home with the new baby?
I don't think you really want to hear about that.
Well, of course I do. What happened?
It was a nightmare. It was a nightmare from the moment I stepped in the house.
A nightmare?
I say that word too often. To be honest, this house is different.
Well, of course it's different.
I think Julia felt it. She was very calm and contented on the ride out here yesterday, but soon as I brought her in this house, she got very jumpy, very restless. Look, I might have imagined the whole thing.
Well, what happened? After we left, what happened?
Well, I guess that's when it really got bad. I have to tell you, it was worse than I expected. It was horrible, but not because anything in particular happened, just simply because this is not my home anymore.
What do you mean by that?
It's true. Draper's dead. My feelings for this house are dead.
It's only been a day.
One day and one very long night. That's all it took, Nicole, for me to realize what I have to do.
You're not going to stay here?
No, I can't. I told Logan the same thing this morning. I just can't stay here. I've got to get out of this house.
All right. Well, maybe you rushed it a little bit too much. Maybe it was a little too fast. Why don't you come back? You can stay with us for a while.
Thanks, but no. Julia needs a home. But I don't want you to worry. There's someplace else we can go. Margo's apartment. I know that place has a lot of memories, Nicole. But they're different from the memories here. And I can't live with these memories. I suppose there isn't any place in Monticello that won't remind me of Draper, but I'm just going to have to learn to live with that.
Margo's penthouse? That's going to remind you of your mother.
Yes, it will, but I've never lived there, Nicole. I never spent more than 3 days in that apartment. But this house, Draper and I picked out this house. We fell in love with this house. It's a happy, very happy time in our lives.
I know. I remember.
Draper and I chose this house. It became our home. It was our real first home. It's not a home anymore. It's a house. An empty, cold, lifeless house.
You know, I thought you might feel that way, but last night you were so sure. Maybe you should just stay a little bit longer, give it more time.
Nicole, last night was an act on my part. I've had these feelings for a long time. I wanted to overcome them. I wanted to try, and I did. Now I realize I have to make the change very soon. Julia needs a home. I want her to start out life knowing that she has a home.
Well, yeah, I can understand that. I know when Adam was born, I wanted him to feel secure from the very beginning.
And you did. Without a husband and without a father, you made him feel secure, and that's what I have to do with Julia.
Yeah. Well, then, when are you going to make the move?
Tomorrow? I know, it's really soon. I'm going to call the building management today and see if it's possible.
Well, I can't see why it wouldn't be possible. The place is empty, and it's furnished. So it's just waiting for somebody to move in. Actually, if I could be selfish about this and tell you, I'm really pretty glad.
Selfish why?
Well, because you'll be living in the city, and you'll be closer to us, and I'll get to see you and Julia all the time. That's very important to me.
It was important to me, too. It was one of my main considerations. I just don't want to be far away from my family and friends. Not now. Oh, excuse me. Hello.
Hi, April. It's Raven.
Oh.
Good morning, Raven.
Hi, sweetie. How are you?
Oh, fine.
I feel so strange calling this number. It's just like good old times, huh? Oh, well, I guess it's a little different for you.
Yeah, quite different.
Well, you must be feeling very alone now, so I thought I'd call and maybe come on over, huh?
Well, as a matter of fact, I have company right now. Nicole's here.
Oh, that's okay. I'm at the hospital, as a matter of fact, seeing Jamie. Did you know he's okay?
Yeah, I heard. I'm really glad.
Well, then maybe I could come over tonight.
Well, I really don't know.
Oh, come on, April. Please, I want to see you. And besides, I want to see that beautiful new baby you have. You know me and kids.
Yeah, I do. Sure, why not?
Great, wonderful. I'll see you this evening.
Okay, bye-bye.
Now, here's Dr. Lacey's report on Kevin. There's two reports, actually, each one confirming his diagnosis that Kevin Jameson was sterile.
I'll bet Lacey wasn't too keen about handing this over.
He certainly was not. I told him, though, I told Geraldine, too, that I hoped we wouldn't have to use this information.
Logan, I can see no way to avoid it. We've got to go into that court with all the available ammunition. Because I'm sure your wife is going to put up a fight if she thinks there's any chance of winning.
Well, what do you think? Can Raven keep me from being declared Jamie's father?
In my opinion, Logan, Raven doesn't stand a chance of stopping your paternity claim if you're willing to go all the way.
Well, if that's what it takes to hang on to Jamie, I'm willing.
And you'd better be prepared to use the medical proof that Kevin couldn't have been Jamie's father. Because if Raven does dispute this, she'd have to introduce a third party.
I doubt that she'd be willing to do that.
And it wouldn't be easy either. She'd have to name somebody with a compatible blood type, for one thing.
No, we don't have to worry about that, Mike. Raven's not about to introduce a third father, if only for the sake of her reputation, what's left of it.
You know, she wouldn't even have to make a public statement. Instead of a court appearance, she could just give us an affidavit.
That's a good idea. That is a very good idea. I'll see if I can set up a time when we can sit down with Raven and show her what we've got and try to convince her that she has nothing to gain by fighting us on this one.
She should listen to reason. If for no other reason than to avoid a public confession. However, she may not be so amenable on the next step.
Well, the custody battle itself is going to be rough.
You can expect a real battle on that one.
Well, it should be a losing battle for Raven anyway, at least with the evidence that I've got now.
Evidence? Logan, you're a lawyer. If you've got evidence, you better have something concrete in mind.
I have April's testimony that Raven attempted to give away our son, and I have a letter in Raven's own handwriting, giving Draper and April permission to raise Jamie any way they see fit.
You have that letter in your possession?
No, but April does.
Yeah.
Mr. Carr, I don't think the Aviva on your case is going to help us. Hey, boss, how are you?
Fine, Cliff. Well, I'm not your boss anymore, remember?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Old habits die hard. I guess, matter of fact, I should call you client.
Absolutely. Mike tells me you've been doing some good things, too. Got some interesting precedents there for us, have you?
Well, it's a pleasure, boss. I can't tell you how terrific it feels to have a client. It's also your friend. And besides, it's pretty juicy material here.
Oh, yeah? What's that?
Oh, these are matrimonial cases. You know, why didn't somebody tell me this? I would have been reading my law books instead of those racy paperback novels. You ought to see these paternity suits. There's one in here. It's Wallenstein versus Wallenstein. Here, I got the good parts underlined in red.
Well, at least he's having a good time.
Oh, I'm sorry. Another Cliff Nelson tactless remark.
Oh,
huh?
come on.
No, that's all right. Old habits do die hard. I want you to know, though, boss, that the most important thing to me is that you get custody of that kid.
Thank you, Cliff.
How's he doing anyway?
He's fine. I'm going to keep him in the hospital for another 24 hours or so, but he'll be good as new.
That's terrific. That must make you feel good.
It certainly does.
Yes, Anna. Yeah, I'll take the call. Okay, listen, I'll call you as soon as I read this report.
Sure,
okay?
I'll talk to you later.
Hey, you free for lunch? I'll tell you about Wallenstein versus Wallenstein.
Just on my way over to the hospital.
Hey, look, you'll be sorry you missed this when you see the baby turn out to be a redhead.
Hello? You're gonna have to speak up. I can't hear you.
Hello, Uncle Mike. I'm at the airport.
I just arrived at the airport.
It's kind of noisy here.
The airport? You mean in New York?
No, Monticello. Took an early flight out of LaGuardia. I guess I should have called from New York first to let you know I was coming.
Well, I thought you were gonna stay in New York until tomorrow.
Well, I was, but last night I got my pocket picked.
Oh, no. Well, how did you manage?
Well, luckily I had my airline ticket in another pocket. But I couldn't afford to stay in the hotel any longer, and now I can't afford a taxi or limo into the city.
Well, now, don't worry about that, Kelly. I'll drive out to the airport and pick you up. Oh, there's just one problem. I may not be able to recognize you.
Well, I tell you what. Just look for the blonde guy with a puppet.
A what?
A puppet. I'll be holding a purple walrus with great big white tusk on it.
A purple walrus. Okay, Kelly, I should be able to recognize you. Both of you. I'll, see you in a little while. Purple walrus?
So far, the news is so good, and there's really no reason to think that it'll change.
That's just wonderful. You were so terrific, Dr. Santos.
I'd gladly take the credit, but there were really a lot of people who pulled for your boy. And some very effective medication.
I was so worried. I thought for sure I was going to lose him.
That was always a possibility. But he's a very sturdy boy. I'm sure that his recovery is going to be very fast.
I just want to take him home.
Another day in the hospital will not hurt him. I just want to be able to monitor his condition.
So you're sure that he'll be released tomorrow morning?
Barring anything unforeseen, I don't see why not.
Terrific.
Excuse me. I have to make the rounds.
Thank you very much. Excuse me. What time are patients normally discharged?
Well, it varies. It all depends on what time the doctor signs them out.
I see. Could you tell me something? What's the earliest possible time I could pick up my little boy tomorrow morning?
To tell you the truth, I started packing already.
You have?
Yeah, I was up at 6 a.m. this morning, couldn't go back to sleep, so I started taking things out of closets and drawers and putting them into suitcases.
Boy, you really have made up your mind.
Yep. Listen, do you remember that little antique carousel music box Draper gave me?
Yeah.
Well, I packed that. It's one of the few things I want to take from this house.
What are you going to do about the house? Just close it up till you decide to come back?
I won't be coming back here. There's no reason to.
What are you going to do?
I don't know. Put it up for sale, I guess, if anyone wants it.
Wants it? It's a wonderful house. Don't you remember how you felt about it? You fell in love with it at first sight.
Yeah, but it wasn't this house. I fell in love with a different house. I don't know, maybe someone else won't see the difference. Maybe they won't see what's missing.
call in an expert if we wanted to, but I don't think it's necessary.
What did the prints show?
I made the comparisons. There's no doubt about it. The prints are absolutely the same. I am Kirk Michaels.